Hello again, friends.
Hello.
This time we're talking to you about Mount Fuji. Same as with Disney Sea, sadly we were not able to go into enough detail while we were actually there on the day, because it was very crowded and busy, and therefore we wouldn't be able to be picked up with the audio equipment we had to hand.
Yeah.
But now's a good chance to go over it. So, Briggy Smalls.
So
how did we get there?
We just got on a train from where we were staying, which was in Ginza. We just used Google Maps. I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of where we changed, but we got 2 trains initially. And we didn't book a seat reservation, which in hindsight was a mistake because we stood up the whole journey and it was about an hour. And then we changed onto a train that was Thomas the Tank Engine themed, which was cute. So that train took us all the way to Mount Fuji, but we actually stopped off on the way at a station called Shimoyoshida Pagoda.
Yes.
And we hiked up to this viewpoint, which is by far, I think, the best view of Mount Fuji you could get. We were also really lucky with the weather. So we had a very clear day. It was very easy to see Mount Fuji all day. And I know it was very lucky for us. But yeah, it was beautiful.
It was absolutely stunning. Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to Shimoshida and Mount Fuji. One of the things that's been quite interesting is getting the train this morning. I really do recommend booking your seats in advance, because otherwise it is a long, slightly rocky journey. I mean, my wife's nickname is Bambi, and she evidenced why this morning. I can see her rolling her eyes right now. I'm going to pay for that one shortly. But it's been quite nice to actually see some of rural Japan. The hills here and the greenery are just stunning. You can really imagine what it would have been like during the blossom season. Anyway, we'll show you more soon. So we have just got off the train. Not a bad view of Mount Fuji.
Bottom of Shimoyoshida, I don't know what you want to call it, but we've got to hike up 735 metres to get to the top, so this is going to be fun because it's very hot today.
Yep. And this is the base. Yeah, they are quite steep steps. And so it continues. And it continues. Still continuing. And on. And on. So here we are. Very, very popular photo, which is good because quite often selfies do not suffice. And this is our next stop, the lake. Now we've just got to start the journey down. It is very busy up that way, and I can just imagine how gorgeous it would have been during Sakura, because there was one tree that still had blossom out, so I made sure to get a few shots with that singular tree, also with Mount Fuji in the background, so it kind of looks like we were there at the right time, which obviously we weren't.
We were a bit late. But yeah, I would recommend stopping off there if you can. And then we got back on the Thomas the Tank Engine train, and it was just a couple more stops to Lake Kawaguchiko, which is kind of the main tourist attraction around Mount Fuji because you can see the mountain, you can go up a ropeway up one of the smaller mountains or hills. You can cycle around the lake, you can boat on the lake, you can go on a pirate ship on the lake. There's loads to do there. So it's really busy there, but still really beautiful. So we're at Lake Kawaguchiko.
And it is very, very windy.
It is.
You do get some rather gorgeous views of Mount Fuji here, other side of the lake, mind you.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering what's going on in the background there, no, you're not witnessing indirectly a murder. They're just going along on jet skis. I mean, what does this area really remind you of?
It really feels a bit like Lake Windermere, where you've got all the mountains around the outside of the lake, people in boats on the lake, lots of souvenir shops, that kind of thing. There's also a ropeway where you can go up the top of one of the hills and you can have a view of Mount Fuji from there, but we've decided to just sit on this little bench and have a little picnic that we bought from 7-Eleven and just enjoy the view.
And we had the best avocado Doritos.
Avocado
Note
and
to
cheese.
self, if you ever see them anywhere, stockpile.
They are very good.
If you wanted to skip the bit with the pagoda, you could get a train straight from Tokyo Station all the way to the lakes.
Yeah.
The lakes itself was actually beautiful.
Yeah.
And there were lots of public toilets and stuff, so don't worry about that on a trip to an area that isn't as built up as the city you would have already have come from.
Yeah.
But all in all, brilliant. I would definitely plan ahead once you're there, knowing what the weather's going to be like, because on a cloudy day it's kind of an exercise in futility if you want to see Mount Fuji, because you are at a lower base, so it's not like you're on par with the height of the Mount Fuji itself, so you're still likely to see it above the cloud. You will not be able to see it. So anyway, just factor that into your plans, have a rough idea of where you want to go, but also be amenable to adjusting your day as the weather requires you to.
Yeah. So the day that we were there, it was actually really windy. So we had lunch by the lake, we took a picnic, so we just bought some food in 7-Eleven, had lunch by the lake, and we were going to walk around to the other side, but we decided that the view wasn't going to be better than where we went, so we didn't in the end. It's still really nice to sit by the lake and just watch everyone enjoying themselves.
It was very
So
nice.
nice.
Highly recommend it, especially the pagoda bit, because that with Mount Fuji in the background, that was a very, very special moment.
Yeah, it was. I would also say definitely book your trains, not just to the mountain or wherever you're going, also back, because they don't run that often. So we were waiting quite a while and there was only one train and it was rammed. Again, we hadn't booked a seat, so we ended up standing up / sitting on the floor all the way back.
There were basically these two seats that back onto each other, so both facing each way, and Ellen crawled into the space in between and just sat down there. Meanwhile, because we were already doing the first day it was about 38,000, then 20,000, 32,000. We were doing an awful lot of steps, to the point that I'm pretty sure that our feet at the moment have 6 or 8 packs.
Yeah.
And just standing there for such a long amount of time while the train ducks and dives on the track as it does because of the speed. It wasn't a pleasant experience with such weary and sore feet.
Yeah.
So basically reserve your seat so you definitely get one.
And I think we went all the way there using our JR passes. I can't remember. Oh no.
There was an additional fee.
I think it was the Thomas the tank engine train. We did have to pay a little fee for that one. But when we came back from the lake, we got on a JR train all the way directly back to Tokyo. So we only spent probably about £15 on travel that day, because we obviously had JR passes. So it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Not
much else to say about that one.
No, I don't think there is. I don't think so. But yeah, if you...
Peace.
if you're going to Tokyo, it's really easy to do a day trip to Mount Fuji. Definitely recommend it. And yeah, if you ever get the chance to go there, then let us know.
Yes.
Okay.
Goodbye, friends.
Yeah, thanks for watching.